It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
In the criminal justice system, sexually-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Okay, y'all, so story time on how y'all favorite little Detroit hairstylist, perfectionist __ or Simone or whatever y'all call her, played in my face with my hair. Now, before I get into the story, I get it if you've been to this girl and you've had an amazing experience. I get that you go to her page and you see nothing but good work. I get it, okay? That's cool, because I also went to her page, and that's the reason why I booked with her, because I thought that I was going to have a great experience as well. But I didn't. So don't knock me for my experience because you had a good experience with this hairstylist. At the end of the day, bad work, horrible work is bad work and horrible work. Simple. But what I will say is that from the outside looking in at the hairstyle, when she finished it initially, it looked good. Like, the wine curls were good. Like, it styled pretty good. It was cute. I'm not going to knock it. So I never thought that the inside, the foundation, would look how it looks now. So, June 2nd, I booked with Perfectionist for a sew-in flip over with wine curls, right? The total was $240, which is cool. I paid my little $30 deposit, and then, it says the rest has to be paid in cash. Cool. So June 12th came, and I had, I was just double checking everything, because I'm like, dang, I think I read where she said that she wanted you to wash the bundles before, Usually I do wash my bundles, but since I was trying a new hair company, I was kind of on edge about washing them because I didn't want them to be messed up. And I knew that I was getting my hair done the day of my trip to Italy. So I'm like, I don't know. I might just want to risk not washing them. That's what I was thinking. But I text her about it. I'm like, so, hey, were you referring to basically, pre-used bundles, or just all bundles having to be washed and cleaned before, bringing them to you, whatever? And she never responded. So I gave her time, because I'm like, everybody busy. The next day, which was the 13th, I texted her again and was like, hey, this and that, the third. I'm just following up with the last message I sent you, because I realized that, you never responded. An hour go by, and I'm like, well, I'm getting pressed on time. So I go to her Instagram page, and I was going to DM her, and I see that she had posted on her Instagram page. So I'm just like, well, she's posting, so clearly, I don't know what the hold up is. So I couldn't DM her because she don't accept DMs for whatever if they not follow you. I was about to squeeze all that BS. So I ended up having to comment on one of her pictures. Like, hey, I reached out to you twice regarding this and that, the third. Never got a response. I would, appreciate if you could respond back to me. Everything was respectful.
She says, hey, I tried reaching out to you twice regarding my appointment this upcoming Tuesday at 10:30. I'm not sure if the number provided in the confirmation is incorrect or not. However, if you could reach out to me, it's greatly appreciated. Sounds pretty nice to me.
So then she had finally responded and was like, hey, clean and dry hair, period. I don't like to install dirty hair. If you feel like it needs to be washed, then clean it. And she was using all these little punctuations, exclamation marks, all that. So I already felt like she was being disrespectful with that after I've been respectful. So, I just didn't say nothing back. I went ahead and washed my bundles and kept it pushing. Remind you, I had 4 bundles, okay? And that's going to play a part in this at the end. So cool. Now we're fast forwarding to June 17th, which is the day of my appointment. My appointment was scheduled for 10:30 a.m. I arrived at her shop at 10:30 a.m. and I see that she's not there. I text her at 10:31 a.m. like, hey, I'm at your suite. She responds back and say, hey, I ran into traffic. Sorry, my ETA is 10:40 a.m. So I just liked the message, and then she texts me in like 10:45, like, I'm ready for you. So she didn't start my hair till like 15-20 minutes after my scheduled appointment.
She says, hey there, I'm scheduled for a sew-in flip over with wand curls on Tuesday at 10:30. In the information box, when selecting the sew-in flip over method, it states to bring clean and dry bundles. Is that referring to if the bundles are pre-used, or is that for new bundles as well that have not been used? Hey there, I'm following up on my last text message due to no reply yesterday. Hey, clean and dry hair, period. I just don't like to install dirty hair, so if you feel like the hair is dirty, it should be cleaned. Then she texts, hello, I'm at your suite. She says, good morning, my ETA is 10:40. Sorry, I bumped into traffic. And then she texts, I'm ready for you 4 minutes later. Good deal.
So, like, her being late, I wasn't really tripping about. But the point that you weren't going to communicate with me and tell me that you're going to be late until I text you at 10:30 and told you I was here is a red flag. Because at the end of the day, the moment you knew that you weren't going to be here at 10:30, you should have communicated that. But you didn't. So, y'all, she starts my hair, and, you know, she's doing it. So initially it said that it was going to take 3 hours and like 3 hours and something minutes, or something like 3 hours and 15 minutes, maybe, or something like that. 3 hours and 45 minutes, something like that, it said in the confirmation. So I'm like, okay. So I knew I was supposed to be like done at least by like 2:15, 2:20, something in there. Given that she was already late, it pushed it back. But also, throughout the appointment, because she did bring her child with her. So throughout the appointment, she had to keep attending to her child. And, you know, I was just keeping it calm throughout the whole thing. Like, throughout the appointment, her child was like, it was points at, her child was sitting on me. Her child was in my lap. Her child was just kind of like all over me throughout the appointment. Even if she directed her child not to be all over me, it just, you know, it didn't stop anything. So me just being me as a psychologist and stuff, I just chilled out because I'm just trying to, for one, get my hair done. And she was already taking a lot of breaks as it was. And then also, I was pressed on time. So, mind y'all, she did not finish my hair until like 3 o'clock or 3:05 p.m. I was supposed to be out of there around like 2:15, 2:20, somewhere in there. But, you know, so at this moment, I leave tonight to go to Italy. And I stayed 40 minutes from the shop anyway. So it was just like I was pressed on time because she was late and she didn't finish until a little later. Okay, so part 2 on what I've clearly come to understand. This person is not your favorite Detroit hairstylist, okay? So cool, I get it. But a hairstylist that said they've been doing hair for 9 to 10 years, and they played in my head. So I left off at, she finished it. Initially, like I told y'all before, it was cute from the outside looking in. So when I see it, I'm like, oh, this is cute. She wanted to take pictures or whatever the case is. And so I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I even offered to tip her because, you know, I felt like it was cute. She told me, like, you ain't got to tip me this and that third. So I didn't tip her. She took her pictures and I left. All right, so fast forward now. I am in Italy. It is Friday. So I've been in Italy from Tuesday to Friday. I have not like touched my hair, my curls or nothing like that. I just kind of let them fall because they were wine curled extra tight, and when they were falling, they were cute. So Friday was the day of a wedding that I had to attend, so I have to go in and rewind curl my hair now. So I realized that like my tracks are like loose and stuff, so I called my fiance and I'm like, you know, look at this and tell me how my tracks looking at the top and stuff like that. He like, you know, they're not really looking. He like, I don't know, but I don't think they looking how you probably want them to look. So I see like my tracks are loose. I'm in a rush, like I said, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to put it in a ponytail or something. Trying to make it work or whatever the case is for the wedding. It wouldn't work for a little ponytail at the top, like, you know, halfway, half up, half down type of thing. Because the tracks on the side were very bulky. They wouldn't like kind of go smooth. And so that didn't work. So then when I tried to actually do like a flip over to, you know, the other side for the most part, the tracks like my hair really kept like falling back down to like the initial side it was on. So it's like it really wasn't working. So I was just kind of forced to really wear it how it was like styled initially, for the most part. Similar, I should say. So cool, kept it put. So I already had made like a mental note in my head, like, you know, it's Italy, it's a time difference, I got a lot going on, got things to do, this and the third. The first thing I do when I land is I'm going to make sure I hit her up and let her know about my tracks. So that's what I didn't think that, oh yeah, me waiting a week was going to be like, oh, a problem at all. I didn't think. So when I got back, I literally hit her up when I was in the airport waiting on my check bag. Literally, my plane landed around 7:30. I was texting her around like 7:47, somewhere in there. You know, very respectful. I'm like, hey, hope all is well, blah, 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 squeeze. I even like acknowledged that I appreciated your work. Like, it was great and amazing, initially. And then I told her, like, you know, some of my tracks are very loose, or this is the third. Asked her, can we get something like worked out, you know, so we can fix the problem, because it's only been a week, and again I paid $240. So she had responded and she was like, hey, she's like, you're literally the only client I've had that like basically told me this, and or whatever the case is. And then she was like, only thing I can do is tighten it up. I was not opposed to that, because that's really what I was asking for anyway, because I wanted my hair to last. I didn't pay for a sewing for it not to last. That's why I got it. So I'm like, I responded back like, yeah, that's fine, you know. And I also acknowledged, like, yeah, I've never had this problem with any hairstylist either. Like, I've never had like no track slip or anything like that. And you know, I wanted the hairstyle to last a little longer. And then I told her, I was like, well, basically I'm free tomorrow anytime, Friday anytime. So, you know, let me know what you have available. So she responded to tell me that she had like a 9 a.m. on Tuesday available. So I told her, I'm like, well, I kind of work from Monday, Thursday, you know, from 9 to 5, like a typical person. And I told her, I said, but I am available on Fridays. But then at that point, that's a whole nother week that I'm waiting to get my tracks tightened up. So I'm like, let me know if you're able to, like, you know, be flexible with this mishap.
All right, well, see, she broke it down. I'm going to just read it. She says, hey there, I hope you're doing well. I just made it back from my trip, which is why I'm now available to follow up. I had an appointment with you last Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. for a sew-in flip over. She keeps mentioning that with wand curls. The look came out amazing initially, and I really appreciate your work. However, after just a few days, I noticed several tracks were sewn in very loosely, especially at the top, which became noticeable pretty quickly. Given that I paid $240, I was expecting the install to last longer and be more secure, especially within just a week. I wanted to reach out to you directly to see if there's anything we could do to fix this, or if there's a policy in place for situations like this. Please let me know what can be done, and thank you. She says, hey, you're literally the only client that has ever experienced this to my knowledge. Not sure how and why that is, but the only thing that I can do is tighten it for you. She says that is fine. And yes, I usually don't have run-ins with my hairstylist at all either. I just know that it won't last as long due to it being loose for real. Let me know a time tomorrow or Friday. I'm free. Now, I can say, she says this nicely, but you know, women are catty, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just say this, where it's like when a lady says, you're literally the only client that I've had experience this, and she comes back, yeah, I don't usually have run-ins with my hairstylist at all either. So that's just like, okay, well, this don't happen to me either. So, you know, like, so it's already going left. So look, when it starts doing that, you're not gonna get yours. You might as well just chalk that 240 up to the game, because it's not getting done. You can't, if you want something fixed, you what they say, you catch more flies with honey. You're not giving honey, but it's okay though.
So, you know, she had stopped responding for a little minute, which was cool. So then I was in the car now, so I ended up recording a video because I had felt like she got offended by me telling her that my tracks had slipped, because she started comparing me to everybody else. Oh, you're the only person, this and that, the third. So I felt like she was offended, and maybe she didn't think I was telling the truth or something. So I sent her a video of my tracks and how they were very loose and how a track was actually coming apart. You know, then I also put at the bottom of that video, of the video I sent her, like, not to keep texting you this late, my apologies on that behalf. But this is a video of like the loose tracks and, the one that's actually coming apart. I got no response. Again, so now we're playing a no response game. On my end, I got no response.
So now she says, I work Monday through Friday. I'm free on Fridays. Let me know if you're able to fix this due to the mishap. And she, not to keep texting you late, my apologies. Of course, she's just telling us what already happened in the video. Oh, that mug out. Yeah, you gotta fix that.
So now it's the next day. And so I'm like, I don't want to be coming off as this person, but I just want my hair fixed. So I'm looking in the mirror now, and I'm literally like trying to look at my tracks now. So I had my fiance come and record a video with more light, because as I mentioned before, I was in the car. So he came and recorded another video where I was showing like it a little more clearly. And so the next morning I sent her the new video and was like, good morning, this is actually a clearer video of the loose tracks and the ones that's coming. So she responded back and was like, I don't need to keep seeing videos of it, LOL. I told you it can be fixed 9 a.m. tomorrow. Now this is Thursday, correct? So 9 a.m. tomorrow is Friday. Mind y'all, she never said that. She said 9 a.m. Tuesday. So I said, like, you never said tomorrow at 9 a.m. You said Tuesday at 9 a.m. I said, however, Friday at 9 a.m. works perfectly fine for me. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Because, like I mentioned before, that was in my availability regardless. So, I was perfectly fine with that.
She says, I don't need to keep seeing videos, Ella. I told you I can be fixed tomorrow at 9 a.m. Yeah, she said, you didn't say tomorrow. You said Tuesday at 9 a.m. LOL, but tomorrow's perfect for me, as in Friday at 9 a.m. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay? Another video. Oh, this is the more clear video. Yeah, that's more than a track slip.
So at this point is where things started to take a turn for the worse, because she sends a screenshot of, I guess she sent some messages on her end, but they never delivered to me. And in the screenshot, it was like, basically she can fix it tomorrow or at 9 a.m. or something like that. She sent a screenshot, and she was like, at the top of her screenshot, she said, though, take your time and read again, boo. And then at the bottom of the screenshot, she sent another message and was like, I actually don't have that available anymore. Sorry, with like this little emoji. So at that point, I took it as now she's being disrespectful and trying to be funny. And so I sent her a video of the whole message thread, because at first I sent the screenshot and said, well, I'm not sure if your messages aren't like delivering, because I'm genuinely like confused. I don't know if your messages are just not delivering. But then when she sent her other message, I'm like, I'm gonna send the whole video of the thread and say, I took my time and I'll show you as well. Your messages never deliver, love. And that's exactly what I said, because now I feel like she's being disrespectful toward me, when in reality, all I'm trying to do is get my freaking hair fixed. So once I sent my end of my message thread or whatever, she just responded back, was like 9 a.m. tomorrow. I said, okay, 9 a.m. Friday 9 a.m. is perfect, as I stated earlier. Thank you. And I was literally trying to leave it alone because I'm like, I just want my hair done, y'all. So she then comes back and say, basically, you know what? I don't feel comfortable like fixing your hair, or I'm not fixing your hair anymore due to your attitude. Have a nice day. So when she said that, y'all, at first I was just like, okay, I'm gonna leave it on. I'm gonna go investigate a little more in my head and see if it's something that, like, you know, my sister, something I can fix or something like that. But when I started to look more into how my hair was looking, no, that wasn't cool with me, because you literally played in my head at this point. And it's beyond the part of just the loose track. And so where I left off at was basically, it was a hole, like a little big gap. It wasn't little at all. It was a big gap in the top part of my head.
Like, this is literally what she did, y'all. She literally stopped doing it like this. It's no tracks. Like,
and so then, because I had to take that out of my hair, it wasn't it. $240 down the drain. But so then when I started to take it down, I started to see literally like the tracks that were loose and like very loose, etc., etc. Those were the tracks that she tried to use to cover up that gap that was in the middle of my head.
so I took down the 4 little tracks that were right here, that she had here. Still left one right here. They were just like this across. And what she did was she messed up initially, and she knew that, and she tried to cover it with tracks right here.
But to keep it real, not even just that, the fronts of my braids were all showing across the whole top part of my head where she started my sew-in. The beginning of my braids were showing. When I pulled it back, it was showing. So the foundation was literally horrible. I don't care if I waited a week to say something. I don't care if I waited whenever. At the end of the day, a week, my hair should not be looking like that. The foundation should not be looking like that. I didn't get in no water. I didn't even touch a pool in Italy. So my hair should have never turned out looking like that in less than a week, actually. I just responded and told her in a week. It actually was like that in less than a week. So, however, she was just like completely rude. And so, after she had told me, like, you know, she wasn't going to do my hair due to my attitude, I kind of a little lost it, because she kind of had me messed up at that point. How are you going to mess up someone's hair completely? The foundation was horrible, and then tell them you're not going to fix it because of their attitude, when in reality I came at you respectful from the beginning. When any other client or customer, whatever you want to refer to someone as, would have came at you on 10 completely, it would have probably been different, because somebody probably would have walked up to that shop and did you in.
She says, my attitude, I'm not your boo, and you called me that, correct? I came respectfully from the beginning, and your communication and customer service has been horrible from the start, starting with me texting you twice and having to comment on your post for a response, you being 15 minutes late and not telling me until I communicate and say I'm at your spot on time, to your child being all over me throughout the appointment, to you messing up my hair and stating you sent messages that never delivered. You are disrespectful. So if you're not open to fixing a job you messed up, then I would like some sort of payment back. She says, I'm not being disrespectful at all. I'm not a robot. I'm going to respond when I'm available. You asked me a rhetorical question that I answered for you politely. I stay far from my suite, so I bumped into traffic as explained to you. My child was not all over you, And I know I am not open to fixing your hair because I don't have to. I was being nice by telling you to come get it fixed. Then you wait a week later to mention something about your hair when you should have mentioned it the day of. You're the only person that I've had a problem with your sew-in ever, and I have been doing hair for 10 years straight. In 10 years, you never had an issue? Ma'am, your child was all over me. Why would you lie? Sitting on my feet, all in my lap, etc. Regardless, you should have communicated before 10:30 hit, knowing you were in traffic. You are not a robot, but you are openly posting on social media throughout the time of when I text you additionally, which is why when I then commented on your post, 10 years or 1 year, you are unprofessional. I was in Italy on vacation. Why would I text you when it's a crazy time difference? I don't use that as a petty excuse of horrible work. After a week, my tracks should not be disconnected at all, especially after paying $240. I didn't get in no water or nothing. You messed up my hair and acting like you did not. And if there will not be an accommodation at all, I will take this into further matters. This is ridiculous.
So as y'all just seen, I told her basically from A to Z how she was literally unprofessional, rude, and like how her child was all over me, etc., etc. She proceeded to say basically she's never been disrespectful. The proof is in the pudding. She's proceeded to say like she was unprofessional, whatever the case is. You know, she been doing hair for 9 to 10 years and she's never had this problem and this and that the third. And basically she wasn't going to fix my hair still, even after I've explained to her how she was unprofessional, disrespectful, and my hair was completely messed up. She wasn't going to fix my hair. And then not only that, y'all, she literally went. So the whole reason why I even brought this to social media, TikTok, because she made a poll on her story, basically like, have any of my clients' tracks been loose within the first 2 weeks, this and that the third. And it's like, how are you saying you're unprofessional, but you're taking it to your story, trying to compare one of your clients' experiences to the rest of your clients? And that's what kind of like took me there, because I'm like, I don't care what other clients didn't have this experience. You did my hair, and this is my experience. And I feel like she tried to rob me of that because, oh, she's never had this problem or nobody's never brought that to her. And I just felt like that was completely unprofessional. Instead of just taking accountability and handling or trying to fix the problem, you took it to social media. And then I just want to comment on the fact that she literally like didn't tell the truth when I told her like your child was all over me. She literally didn't tell the truth about that. And that kind of like threw me for a loop. Like, why would you just lie literally to my face about something when me and you both know the truth? Like, that is the ultimate like unprofessionalism, whatever you want to say, because baby, why are you lying? So then what's crazy is I'm going to keep this person very anonymous because they asked for me to keep them anonymous. However, someone reached out to me and basically expressed that this has not been the first time that her child has been very disruptive inside of Parlor 313. I think that's what it's called. And it's been many complaints, etc., etc. So I'm going to share that screenshot, but I'm going to keep it very anonymous. So I'm not sharing who sent it. I'm blocking out certain words so that the person who sent it, you can't really tell. I'm just going to share the importance of what they sent to me.
Alright, so she still got the comment in front of her, so I can't say. And there's some pursue with Simone did to you was so wrong, and the other tenants inside the salon have had to complain about her son, but he screams and it's loud the whole time they are here. This is an everyday thing. I've had multiple complaints about the noise. I've also had a complaint about him playing in the women's bathroom by himself. And she scribbled out, he's a sweet boy, but he's really disruptive. You pet, y'all pet. Ooh, somebody, one of her co-workers or co-salonists or whatever you call it, hates her.
This was literally a life lesson for me. I don't usually just go to random individuals to get my hair done. That's not something I usually do. I'm a person that usually do my own quick weaves with my own ponytails and things like that. Or I will go to an individual, another hairstylist in Detroit. I know her personally, and I also just know her as she do hair. Latrice Styles, she does very good hair. So that's really the only other person that I go to when it comes to me getting like quick weaves or if I got something done, anything. So yeah. So I'm not no chair hopper, none of that other extra, none of that. I just really took a leap of faith because I wanted to sew in and I wanted it, I was going on a trip, so I just took a leap of faith. And I seen that this person was doing other people's hair that I knew. And so I just, took a leap of faith and it turned out bad on my behalf. So, like I said, this was a life lesson for me to, watch who I'm spending my money with. Also, go with my gut feeling. If something not feeling right, because I kid y'all not, when she was not responding and things like that, I spoke to one of my friends about it. Like, I'm having this bad feeling about this hairstylist, this and that, the third. I have the messages actually when I was talking to her about it. So I just gotta follow my gut feeling because I literally had a bad feeling about going to this person and I still went through with it. Yeah, and that's just what it is. So thank y'all for coming to my little TED Talk, my little rant, my little whatever. I see that some of you guys did like post some stylists that you go to, this and that, the third. I appreciate the recommendations and suggestions. And yeah, so
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit live video. Oh, it ain't live, I'm tripping. Lit video. Back in the confessional. Yes, we stay in lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who pull up to the lives and show your boy some love. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram, everydaypj, okay? And if y'all want to send me messages about YouTube, you gotta send me some videos. If you wanna pull up to the pay to talk, where I'm gonna pay you, I'm gonna cash app you, and I'm gonna put your cash app in the chat. And if your story is good, people will cash app you. They'll send you $1 or $2. Let's raise you some money, just some gas money. We ain't gonna make you rich, but at least if you want to get a story out there, you got a good story to tell, we'd love to hear it. So, hit me up on Everyday Thing with PJ, Everyday PJ, and Facebook, Twitch, all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into it. Well, I would suggest her going to Mary's Hair Braiding in Detroit. I mean, just try it out. You know what I'm saying? It can't be no worse. Shout out to this lady, TCEOs. I don't know, TCO. I don't know that. Anyway, shout out to her. This is her story, and she's sticking to it. She's wearing that Supreme hat because the tracks is coming down. Okay, sound like but listen. I'ma just tell y'all what, man. Stop going to these Instagram stylists. If you don't know this stylist personally, or you're not recommended, if they don't come highly recommended, don't try. Nah, I want to try something new. Don't, especially before a wedding in Italy, and you want to try a new stylist. I could have told you that's a bad idea. Listen, when you're doing something that's that important, stick to the basics. Go to the person you know who will do a good job. You might not like that person, or that person might be a little bit more expensive, but listen, you need professionalism. You need the job done right the first time, because you have an important event. When I have important events and I need my beard shaved or trimmed, I'm not going to a new stylist. I'm going straight over to my boy on 44th and Sunny Lane. His name is Artist, and it's 44th and Sunny Lane. He got a barbershop on the south side of the road, okay, next to a tire shop. So if you're in Oklahoma City and you need your haircut, go see him. But when I needed to trim, that's who I go see. Cause every time I go see, well, him and my other friend who retired from cutting hair, but I would go to him. But him, cause I tried going to somebody else one time, and they told me $35 for a beard trim, and I'm like, $35? Man, you smoking dope. Anyway, I went to him. He told me 15, and I gave him 20. Like, yeah, I give you 20. I don't mind. Yeah, shit. The other dude was gonna charge me $35. I was like, man, you gonna shampoo it too? You gonna throw some conditioner on that joint? Or you just gonna trim it up and kick me out the door? Then I'm got all this hair and stuff on my chest and stuff. My stuff ain't clean. You know, you ain't making it soft. You just trim it up, right? Okay, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Had to dip on that one. So yeah, don't try nothing new when you got something important to do. Okay, if you just going randomly, like, you know what? Listen, it's the same thing. Well, I'll get my toes done. Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen that video yet, but anyway, I showed my toes on another video. That video went out today. But I go to the same nail salon because they know how to cut my nails, how I like my nails cut, toenails. Because every time I go to a different place, every time they never do it right, and I be back in the nail salon getting my nails done again, paying it again. I'm just like, really, I just need my nails clipped. I don't even need the full pedicure, but whatever. Like, I'm paying, so now I'm double paying for something I should have paid. And now my routine is off for the month because now, now I either got to get my nails cut in 2 weeks to stay on routine. So now I'm paying 3 times, just, instead of just coming once a month, getting my toenails clipped. And even when I went out of town when I was supposed to be getting my nails clipped, I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere and get my nails clipped around here. And come to find out, I was like, nah. So I just waited. And when I waited, my my toenails got long. They got dangerous, dog. They got dangerous. They was cutting up the sheets and everything. But I waited because I was like, I need to get back on schedule. There's no reason for me to be off schedule. So I got back on schedule, and now you know what? I put on my shoes today. Feet felt great. I was like, damn, they not feeling like they because I don't know what it is about toenails, but they make your feet hurt. So, stick to the basics, especially when you got something important to do. Don't try to be all fancy. And she did, and she bit the bullet, and she was looking crazy. Anyway, everyday people, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.